Greetings and salutations. Second Star right back with some more Raid Shadow Legends. On screen we have Painsmith. By request, someone wanted me to take a look at this, and I have done so. Just to level 50, just to get a feel for the champion. So let me tell you what I found about this rare Void Dwarf. He has an ability that is one that has its uses, especially in the Dwarf Faction Wars, where the bosses have minions that are constantly revived, and he can put a stop to that, nip that right in the bud with his Utter Destruction. A2 attacks an enemy, enemies killed by the skill cannot be revived. It's on a 4-turn cooldown natively. You can get it down to 3 turns, which is not bad. I have not booked him for the purposes of this video because I didn't feel it was super necessary to do so, although your mileage may vary. I just kept him at level 50 to see how he would perform. There's only one other dwarf in his faction that has block revive, and that is Beast Wrestler. Beast Wrestler also has a kind of cool passive where he deals bonus damage on the first hit against the enemy. So that's kind of cool too. I might want to take a look at that at some point, but right now, focusing on Painsmith and the way I built him to try to maximize his ability to cause this utter destruction and keep his enemies down. You know, it's an important skill. Like I mentioned Faction Wars, but in dungeons, it can help you out in Ice Golem. It can certainly help you out in Arena if you just don't have like Foley or even like Excruciator or Fenax is a good one. That block revives in Arena. Anyone going against Gorgorab, Arbiter, Scylla the Drakes, all these things where you constantly see them in the arena. It is constant irritation that they're bringing back the champions you've worked so hard to kill, and they bring them back to wreak havoc and pain upon your team again. Is an irritant. So let's not discount the value of this block revive skill. Okay, his Pickaxe Crunch, which is just his A1, just attacks the enemy. And that's what it does. You can bump that damage up by an extra 20%, and Helpless Victim is his A3 with a really great icon. I kind of dig that. Attacks an enemy, damage increases by 15% if the target has no active buffs. So that's kind of cool. I thought he did... Oh, his Utter Destruction, besides blocking revives, if you kill someone, it also puts a block debuffs on the champion for 2 turns. So again, another thing that's useful in Faction Wars, where those boss fights can get kind of irritating with all the debuffs they put on. Okay, so let's go to what this guy, his stats. He has decent speed. He's base 100, which isn't bad. His attack is pretty decent. His defense is actually pretty decent too. He's not a badly built base stat champion. He's got some stuff going for him. He just doesn't do a whole lot. I mean, the only thing that he really does is block revive and put block debuffs on himself. So total one-trick pony. So what I wanted to do was try to maximize his ability to do so. So I just have him in a crit damage set and a critical rate set, and then broken set here so that I can get hit points to get him, like him last a little bit longer. Remember, I won't keep him at level 50, but I do take him into some content that can be hit point intensive, shall we say. So broken set there, and of course just wanted to get the crit damage, 6-star crit damage. I wanted that 80%, and then when I built him up, I focused almost exclusively on crit damage. I was looking for the big hit to knock the enemies down and keep them down with on his A2. So we will look at that and see how effective that was. Again, crit rate really low, 51%, but there are ways to mitigate that. You can get around him having a horrible crit rate damage via team comp. So that's something you can do, and we'll look at how I tried to get around that. He only has 2,000 base attack, but again, I'm focusing on the big, heavy hits. So let's see what happens when I take him into Ice Golem. Oh, and I do have some masteries. I just have the basic ones, the tier 1 and 2. That's it, for crit damage and crit rate, and then healing upon the first death because he's a little squishy. All right, so let's go into Ice Golems. All right, so here's what I've done to kind of mitigate his lack of crit rate. And you see he knocked out Drake like right away, his first hit. So he's running with Scylla the Drakes, which you see a lot in my level 50 team compositions, Battle Sage, and Lord Chamford. Those three you almost always see in there running level 50s. And this is stage 13 of Ice Golem. This is the first one where you can potentially get 6-star gear. And I know I say this ad nauseum on my level 50 videos, but that's where you want to be. You don't want to be doing level 12. You want to be doing at least level 13 to get your shot at that 6-star gear so you can help progress through your dungeons. Okay, so then I also have Hexweaver and of course Painsmith, who is our focus. But Hexweaver has the ability to give the extra crit rate buff, so I'm using her as his extra crit rate. So as you can see, as he gets through here, he's actually hitting fairly decently for his level. There's a 15,000. That's on the boss, so the boss has defense down, but still 15's not bad. There's a 17.5. He does hit relatively hard when he crits, and that's the 253% crit damage talking. 61,000, almost 62,000 hit. That's nothing to scoff at, shall we say. And then there he blocks revive on the second minion there, so now we don't have to worry about the defense down anymore, even though Battle Sage is usually clearing all our debuffs, but still, that's a whole minion that we don't have to worry about. Now we only have to focus on getting down the minion over here before Frigid Vengeance. So, and even if we don't, that Frigid Vengeance is only going to do 50% more damage rather than double damage, like it would if both the minions were up. So, there is, of course, potential. It's on auto, so it doesn't always land, but there is potential to knock out both minions using Block Revive. And because his cooldown is low, now I don't have his cooldown low because I didn't book him, but getting it down on a 3-turn cooldown, the potential for keeping these minions down is pretty significant. In Faction Wars, it can help even more on those Faction Wars boss fights, so stage 7 and stage 13 or whatever it was. Those minions revive on the dwarf Faction Wars, and so he is useful in that regard. You don't necessarily have to invest too much in him, just enough to keep him alive to get through that content. So there we go, 313,000 damage, only single target damage too. So he did his job. You saw there were some really nice big hits in there. He was able to keep the minion down. He did his thing. He's not a great champion, but for that one thing that he does for a rare, granted it's a void rare, but still, he does that job very well. All right, so let's go into some next thing. I don't know what it is. Let's see. It is okay. We'll see how much damage his A2 does. So we will target someone. He's already buffed up. And okay, so 63,300 on his A2, and that's after everyone has defense downs and weakens, and he's buffed up with extra crit damage from Frost King, extra crit rate from Skartorsis. So we're doing good over there. So that was 63.3 on his A2. That's his block revive skill. And now we'll try his A3, which is come on, guys. Let's get all the debuffs going. Come on, Frost King. No, not that one. Not that one. That one. All right. So we got all the buffs are landed, and now we will try his A3 on this hapless raider over here in the corner. And no, the raider. Let's go. 83,000 hit. So remember, he's level 50, so an 83,000 hit is something that could be sought after. I'm sure that an 83,000 hit would suit your purposes nicely. Again, a lot of manipulation had to happen for it to get there, but that is a pretty decent hit for a level 50 rare, if I may say so. And that's not an enemy max hit point damage. That's just straight damage that's buffed and debuffed, but that's what we got. All right, so next we'll take into some arena. And here we have both a Gorgrab and a Shaman that could potentially resurrect your opponents. And I'm running with Frosty, Hope, and Skartorsis to get that extra crit rate. And let's see what we accomplish here. So I'm not going to do utter destruction right away because I don't think he can land a kill shot right away, so we're going to soften him up first with Helpless Victim. Did not crit, unfortunately, even though he has the Scartorsus buff on there. It's still only like 71% or something like that. So while I have increased my chances significantly with Scartorsus, there's still room for error. You can straighten that out by changing the leader. I'm going with the defensive leader here in Frosty, but we could do Pitiless One, which I do later. We could do Luthia. No, Luthia is dungeons only. But you can use a crit damage arena lead, a crit rate arena lead, in addition to like a Scartorsus to get your crit rate up higher. And so there we go. We got we blocked. Is it Kale? Kale's going down. Sorry, it's 3 a.m. I'm trying to squeeze this in because I just don't have time to do anything these days. I was able to block someone's revive somewhere. Ray's. I blocked Ray's revive. I was blabbing and I missed it. So I blocked Ray's revive. So at least Ray, who poses a significant threat since we're so dependent on buffs in this team comp, getting rid of Ray was good. And of course now it's just a matter of formality to get rid of everybody. But that was not a bad showing for Mr. Painsmith. Alright, let's move on. Okay, what do we have here? This is a Painsmith lead. Alright. So we have, he is 19% all battles. So we have extra crit coming from there, and we have extra crit coming from Scartorsus, which he just put on right now. And of course, Fearless One is in retaliation gear, so he'll be attacking a lot. And then let's see here. Can we get an utter destruction and block revive on someone? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do Kale. Okay, so we will take Kale out of the equation now. His revive is blocked. We don't have to worry about Slow the Drakes bringing him back to torment us anytime soon. And now Painsmith's out, but that's okay. We've already done what we needed to do, and now it's just logistics to clean up the mess here. But I am going to wait till we get to the end of the fight because there's something interesting that I discovered when I was, and I didn't really notice it as the fight was going on, but once the numbers came out, my opinion had a little bit of a revelation here. Okay, come on. Let's go. Let's go. Stop playing with your food, guys. Come on. And let's get Hope to take out Zargala, and we're good. And what had happened was, look, they're like 50,000 points more powerful than my team. But Pitiless One, this accidentally became a Pitiless One showcase. Look at that, he did 165,000 damage. But I didn't even notice him doing it, but he kind of laid waste to this team. So something to keep in mind, Pitiless One has been buffed with a couple patches ago. I did the math. We talked about it a bit on my Discord channel. So maybe I will redo the Pitiless One video. I have one out there. Maybe we'll do another one to show his new buffed abilities. But really all it is just kind of me doing the math of what it used to be with what it is now. And you should note that I said doing math, not doing meth. Okay, guys? Let's keep it non-Albuquerque over here. So Pitiless One actually stole the show on this one, but Painsmith did keep Kale down, and that's what we wanted, right? So that is Pitiless One. He is not an overall good champion, okay, but he does that thing that he does well when you build him a certain way. I decided to go with massive amounts of crit damage to take suckers out as fast as possible and keep them down so that they just stay out of the way. And I think that's something that can do well. I mean, it's situational and it's niche. This might not have any value for you and what you're doing with your teams right now, but if you needed a block revive or something and you have a Painkeeper sitting around and you just need him to get past stage 7 or stage 13 or what have you in your dwarf faction wars, that's the way to do it. Just make him survive long enough and have him get that last hit on a minion, and maybe it gets you past the boss fight. Nothing wrong with that. So that's my takeaway from Painkeeper. He's not something that you'd want to go out of your way to build, but he can certainly help you if you're having trouble with constant revives. All right, so that's his thing, and I hope that helps. If you enjoyed the content, please subscribe, throw me a like, and comment down below what you think and what you want me to take a look at next. I have a bunch of things brewing. Not a whole lot of time to do a whole lot, but I'm working on it. Guys, thank you so much. I appreciate your watching, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.